Your brand story is how your customers connect to you, rally behind you, and it's the reason they stick with you. Every single brand in existence has a powerful story, yes, even yours. But extracting that story and writing it in a way that's not only relevant to your reader, but also magnetic is something that a lot of freelancers, copywriters, and business owners struggle with. So in this video, I'm going to share a proven 3-part storytelling structure based on screenwriting principles used in Hollywood to help you craft a deeply relatable brand story that calls in your dream customer. So keep watching. Hey Posse, what's up? It's Alex coming at you this week with a brand new video that so many of my Posse peeps have been asking me for. And I am more than happy to deliver because, as many of you already know, I absolutely love storytelling and I absolutely love branding. So combining them into one juicy video is basically one of my favorite things ever. But before we get into my 3-part storytelling structure, let's first talk a bit about why this is so important to take your time with and really make sure you get right. Because let's be honest, most businesses tend to overlook the whole share your story thing on your websites and about pages. Sure, they make sure to share their vision and their values and their mission, and they might even have some pictures of the founders with a brief bio, but they don't mention anything about the actual story behind the brand or what got them to where they are today. They falsely assume that their customers just won't care. No one reads my about page anyway. No one wants to read a story about something that happened ages ago. No one cares about why I started. They only care about how I can help them. Wrong. And this is a huge mistake that I see so many brands and businesses making today. Because the truth is, today, more than ever before, customers really want to know about the brands they do business with. They want to know why you're here, why you do what you do, and what exactly led you to be the person, brand, and business that you are today. They want to feel like they know you and actually understand you before they give you their money, and telling your story is the best way to create that connection and rapport with them. Plus, telling your brand story actually differentiates you from other brands. Your story is the one thing that will never be the same as any of your competitors because it is 100% unique to you. You can debate facts, you can disagree with opinions, but you can never argue with a story. But with that said, it's going to take a little bit more than just, in 2007, I graduated from college, then I worked for a startup company, and then hey, I decided to start my own thing, and here I am now doing this thing for you. Nope, if you want your brand story to be engaging and build loyalty, then you gotta do better than that. So how do you craft a compelling brand story? I thought you would never ask. Here's a sneak peek at my 3-part storytelling structure that I teach inside the Posse I Brand Voice Challenge. Now, I created this brand story model by drawing inspiration from where the best stories are told today. You got it, the big screen. Many films today, whether you realize it or not, actually follow the same basic storytelling structure with a clearly distinct beginning, middle, and end. And I know that's kind of obvious, but in screenwriting, this is called the 3-act structure, which is widely based on the hero's journey, a common storytelling structure that was popularized by Joseph Campbell, where Act 1 is the setup. So this establishes the main characters and their goals. Act 2 is the confrontation. So here the stakes are raised and things are starting to get intense between the hero and the villain. And Act 3 is the resolution. So this is the final act that resolves the story. The hero usually returns home and is changed somehow, and this may or may not serve as a setup for a potential sequel. And as you already might have guessed it, this is exactly how you should write your brand story too. And no, I'm not saying that your story needs to have a beginning, middle, and end. I mean, that's kind of obvious. I think that's something that most people generally understand. But the real juice behind the 3-act structure is the events that actually happen in each act that make the story so compelling and actually pulls readers' attention forward, or viewers if they're watching. So Act 1 sets the scene, right? It should set up the time and the place and of course introduce the main characters. This is the who, the when, the where of your story. Typically, the action starts when the protagonist is faced with an external problem. The first act then poses the question, how can the protagonist solve this problem? And spoiler alert, if you tell your story correctly, then the audience will discover that answer in Act 3. Now, the second act is the confrontation, right? So this is where you throw in obstacles at your protagonist. The action rises and they are tested. Now, this is usually where they hit rock bottom or go through the dark night of the soul kind of thing, not to be too dramatic. And then finally in Act 3, you resolve your story, you tie up all of those loose ends with your subplots, and you answer that dramatic question asked in Act 1, and then complete the transformation of your main character. So you'll find that most great screenplays actually follow this 3-act series more or less. But you're not here to learn how to write a movie plot, although You could. You are writing a brand story, so how is this actually relevant to you in your business? Well, just like that 3-act structure helps Hollywood create compelling stories, you want your brand story to pull your audience forward and keep them engaged until the very end. So the beginning of your brand story, Act 1, is what I like to call the challenge. So this sets the foundation for the rest of your story. It should touch on the reason you started your journey in the first place. Make sure to highlight the defining moment that started everything and got you down this path. Now, the goal here, though, is not to go on and on and on about your entire life story. Share relevant information that builds authority and, of course, sets the scene. Then start to plant the seed of a challenge looming ahead. So here's an example of my brand story from the Copy Posse Brand Voice Guide. Here I am laying the foundation for the rest of my story and giving my readers an insider context into what sparked the creation of the Copy Posse and how I got started in this whole world. Next up, the middle of your brand story, your Act 2, is what I call the discovery. It often starts with a major setback or an obstacle or a realization that leads you on a search for answers. You are embarking on a mission, and of course you're going to encounter some obstacles and setbacks along the way. And these events and moments create a ripple effect that ultimately leads you to a major discovery or declaration or aha moment. This is when your brand is officially born. And lastly, the end of your brand story, your Act 3, is what I call the empire. Your story comes to an end by tying everything together, saying, okay, so this is who we are, and this is what we do, and this is why we do it. And most importantly, the end of your brand story is where you get your readers excited for the sequel, what you have to offer. You want to rally your customers to join you on your mission and inspire them to take the next step with your brand and your business. So there you have it. My 3-step brand storytelling structure is based on screenwriting principles that have been drawing in crowds and fans for over 100 years. Now, of course, this was just a very brief overview. If you want more guidance, practical examples, and a step-by-step workbook to help you craft your own killer brand story and brand voice guide, make sure to check out my 5-day Posse I Brand Voice Challenge. In this program, I go into so much more depth and detail to really help you extract the key events and defining moments that you need to touch on, and most importantly, help you connect all the pieces together to write a brand story that really hooks attention and pulls your readers forward. And you can learn all about the Posse I Challenge by clicking the link in the description box below. I hope you found this video helpful. Until next time, I'm Alex. Ciao for now. All right, guys, if you enjoyed that video, make sure to check out the next one from me right here. And you can click right here to get a free gift. Listen to this. Average person is bombarded with 10,000 marketing messages every single day, which begs the question, in a world where attention is the most valuable commodity, how do you command it instead of demand it? In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to create a spectacular, never the same, totally unique brand voice that helps you stand out. Keep watching.